Alright, hello SpeedGaming. Today we have a match between Smilefires and GarniTexas. This is Losers Round 2, and the first match of a BO3. For presets, we are using a tournament preset which involves Shop Sanity, Panther First, Boss Random, and Area Shuffle. Shop Sanity means that the Hammer Shop will be unlocked at the start of the game, allowing early access to gear and souls. Area Random is pretty self-explanatory. Area exits are shuffled between them. Boss Shuffle, also the same. Any boss that has two entrances, except for Creaking Skull, the final bosses, is shuffled. So that's Death, Headhunter, Big Golem, Great Armor, Legion, Balor. Oh, that's a good shop. We got Death's Robe, Blocking Mail, Manticore is very good, Valkyrie, Bale, very good shop. Not a lot of weapons, but gear and soul-wise. Death's Robe probably top 2 armors in the game, Blocking Mail top 4, Manticore is the best blue soul, Valkyrie is a very strong red, and Bale with its plus 12 int makes Manticore even better. So we did see runners, I believe, both picked up Death's Robe. Looks like Smile decided to grab a hammer and Garni grabbed Manticore. Back to the preset, Panther First means that our first blue soul, our first progression, is Black Panther. We just saw it on Garni's screen. Black Panther is the dash soul, makes runners go fast. Area random, the areas are connected. Garni went left, went to Reservoir, but the wrong Reservoir entrance. Got the Evil Butcher soul. It's not amazing, but better than nothing. Pretty decent damage if you don't have any other options. But I believe the runners could buy Valkyrie, so... Looks like Garni also grabbed the Bale Soul. It increases the int, and that boosts his blue soul damage, and since Panther is a blue soul, it allows them to kill both runners to kill the skeletons in one hit. Creaking Skull goes down quickly to the Manticore damage. Smilefires uses Valkyrie for an even faster kill. Creaking Skull is resistant to dark and weak to holy. Valkyrie as a holy damage soul deals double damage. Axe armor, that's actually a very good soul for the runners to have. Since the axe can go through walls, especially if it's on its return trajectory. This allows runners to get checks out of logic, or easier than they could otherwise get. We might see that when they return to earlier castle corridors. What else was there in the preset that I haven't mentioned? Not a lot. Okay, so the end goal is to kill Graham, and start the final ending, the true ending route, and kill Julius and Chaos. To do this, you need to kill Graham while wearing 3 souls, which are decided by the 3 books. We just saw one of the books, that's Yellow Book, Ghost from Peeping Eye, I think? No, Peeping Eye from Ghost. So the first name is the soul that they need to equip, the second name is the enemy that they can farm that soul from. So they'll need to equip the Peeping Eye soul when they defeat Graham Phase 2. And if they need to, they can farm that from Ghost. We also just saw Skula for both runners. Smile used Valkyrie, while Garni we saw the returning axe, which goes through walls. Skula is the swimming soul, lets you go underwater. It is necessary to complete the game, as there is a single area in Chaotic Realm, the final area, that you need to traverse through and is Skula required. The only other things you need to complete the game is Flight, which you need to access Top Floor and Chaotic Realm, and the previously 3 mentioned souls. Now to preempt the question. While you can farm the required souls, you don't have to. There are 6 canisters of each soul color hidden around the castle, not counting progression, that contain these souls. And one of them will always be your required soul. The other 5 are, I guess, diversion souls to trick you. But you can always count that one of them is true. So you'll never have to farm but sometimes farming can be a faster way to get the souls you need. Since we don't have Malphus yet, we're probably going to see Chapel, or, yep, Chapel. This area is not Malphus required for most of the checks, which the runners are a fan of because they don't have Malphus. There can be 2 of a Dracula Soul pot as well? No, I don't believe so, unless the Dracula Soul is a Rush Soul. Vanilla Chapel, that is true. Since the Dracula Souls, like, it'll be, oh my god, we have early Bat. Okay. So Bat, like I was saying, Flight is one of the things we need to beat the game. Bat is the slower form of Flight, but it also serves as a replacement for a Skeleton Blaze, the Slide Soul. So it allows access to more checks than the other Flight Hippogriff does. Speaking of, is this Malphus? It is Skeleton Blaze, so never mind. It's Bat, not as useful anymore. Slide, and Bat using a slide allow access to, I think, 2 areas? A couple checks, maybe? So not amazing, but they can be useful, and they're also very good on the later fights, like Chaos and Julius and Graham, where slide movement is very useful. Manticore goes down pretty quickly. We're going to see Garni going up top before the side check. This is because if you leave and re-enter the Manticore room, there will be 3 gargoyles that spawn. And gargoyles very dangerous. I believe that was Backdash. And we're seeing Malphus now. Smile decided to farm Ghost for the Peeping Eye Soul right off the bat. That's not a bad decision. It's right there. You can kill it with, words are not coming to me. You can kill it with Panther, making it a very fast farm. And this means Smile is all set, if he happens to find the other 2 souls and books early on. We're going to see Garni heading back to the start. There's 3 checks here, and also the shop. But I believe they already grabbed everything they want from the shop. Alright, yeah, it was Backdash. There's a pair of checks here on the right. One of these is flight locked. If it's a soul, you can get that through a wall. But if it's like a book or a Basilard, again, I have to use flight to get that. But thankfully both runners have bat, so it's not too much of a trouble. While Garni headed back to the start, it looks like Smile grabbed the warp and is deciding to check the chapel exit here. We haven't seen much of the map, so no idea what the runners are going to run into, but I'm going to say it's going to be Reservoir. Call me a prophet. Now with Malphus and Skula, the entirety of Eastern Reservoir is in Logic, and they do have Death's Robe, so honestly, I think this is a pretty safe area to do at this point. They have armor, they have the movement they need. It's not going to be as much of a trouble as if they did this, say, with casual clothes. On Garni's side, we did just see the best trick in the game. This is the algorithm boat zip. It pushes you into the wall, and then the wall pushes you out of the wall, and then you get where you're going slightly faster. We're seeing the Peeping Eye Soul. That is, I believe, the required soul down on the bottom. So now both runners have that, I believe. And 2 castle maps in Eastern Reservoir. Man, not the best Eastern checks so far. Well, it looks like Garni decided to grab Blocking Mail instead of Death's Rope, or maybe in addition to. Blocking Mail gives a 33% chance to just not take damage or knockback, which is very good if you get lucky. It can let you keep moving, save you from immediate death. It's just a very good piece of armor, though stat boosting wise, it's not as good as, say, Death's Robe, Demon's Mail, or Ejaculate's Tunic. We just saw that guard there. It does give you invincibility frames, which allowed Garni to go through both the Triton and the fish heads. And a strawberry for his troubles. That's plus 300. Not bad healing, but Garni was probably hoping for a weapon of some sort, or a progression soul. Going to be interesting to see if Garni decides to explore the rest of Reservoir by heading down here, or heads back to the warp and chapel and goes to another exit in corridors. That's looking like the latter. Oh yeah, Garni got backdash. She was the first one to get backdash, I believe. Oof. We just saw that the fish head fireballs don't grant invincibility frames, so you can get comboed by them pretty easily. I think Garni is going to be headed... Well, I don't know, there's a lot of exits over here, but I'm going to expect Floating Gardens skip, personally. Because everybody should do Floating Gardens skip. Disappointed. Now this is a Vanilla Reservoir exit. Again, we don't really know where it is. It's Floating Gardens. Close enough, honestly. Now this is going to be an area that the runners need to remember, as Floating Gardens is where you fight Julius, the second to last boss in the game, and how you get into Chaotic Realm. It does not, however, have a warp, so you're going to have to remember the randomized area connections to get back there after you defeat Graham. Ooh. Forbidden, not a bad area to find, given how it's very close to a save point, but I don't know if Garni made use of that save point. Though there are 2 checks here, you can get them with Skula, though it is a very slow trip there, so ideally you want to be able to save, do these checks, and if they're nothing you can reset out doing a save split. We're going to see the first one just in a second. Milliken's Sword, pretty mid-tier. It does have the Petrify property, which is good against a couple enemies. Ooh, we just saw the combo on Smilefire's side. Took a hit from the fireball, got knocked into the fish heads, and died to that. That said, I think Smilefire managed to see all of the checks in Eastern, so all he has to do is refight Manticore and grab the progression in Chapel, and then he can go wherever he wants to go next, because there wasn't really anything good in Eastern at all. Tear of Blood on Garni's side, pretty good accessory. It's not the best, but it provides a hefty defense boost. So, good choice to grab that, though I'm not sure if you would want to keep it. I don't know if Garni saved and can't reset out, or if he just wants to keep that Tear of Blood. We are seeing that Blocking Mail come in pretty good use here, saving him from a lot of hits. Good movement from Smile to dodge these gargoyles on the second time through this room. I think we're going to see Garni heading out the second exit of Forbidden. Normally a dead end on the left, but if you manage to come to Forbidden and leave it, you can access what is normally dead-ended. Looks like Smile's heading back to Eastern. Meanwhile, Garni finds the better side of inner quarters. This side has a couple checks, as well as the save point and Galamoth. Neither runner has Galamoth or the Chronomage Soul. Oh, we might find Galamoth. No, a Hippogriff. Also very good find. It's the better form of flight. You just hit L and you go straight up. We also see a Rune Ring. That increases your mana regen. And Smile is deciding to go to the other side of Reservoir. Cleared Eastern and is now heading... Well, there's a lot of Eastern to do from here, really. So I don't know where he's headed. Garni finds Headhunter. This is a very good fight. It's pretty mid-level, so it doesn't take that much effort to kill. And also, the reward for killing Headhunter is that the shop increases in what it sells. There are two bosses that do this, Headhunter and Death. And given that the shop is completely random, with no waiting basically, well, there's some waiting, but like, you can find a claim in there, you can find Final Sword. We already saw Death's Robe and Block the Mail. Killing these shop bosses can allow a runner to get a pretty big item advantage. And there's the third castle map. All 3 maps in Reservoir? That is pretty unlucky. You say Vanilla Headhunter, but honestly I wouldn't even know what Vanilla Headhunter looks like if not for the walls matching. Now the wet entrance on West Reservoir took Smile back to Corridors. One of the flight checks in Corridors, but it looks like he's decided to do a bit more exploring in Reservoir rather than go back to Corridors. Currently finds an Olrock suit that is worse than Death's Robe and Blocking Mail, I think. And he does a trick where you sleep out of a room, as sleeping in Aria places you at the last entrance that you came through. It's pretty useful in a couple circumstances. That tower in Quarters is one of the more notable ones, but there's also a corridor in Arena, and that area where we saw the algorithm boat zip. You can use some pretty good sleep tech there. Smile is doing the rest of Reservoir now. We might see some waterfall tech, dare I say it? Newly discovered waterfall tech? I probably won't, because both runners do have flight. But it's possible. Garni runs into Study. It's the Flying Armor Soul for his troubles. This is not as useless of a soul as it used to be, but it's still a pretty useless soul now that they have flight. Especially since Garni has both Hippo and Bat. Flying Armor is not going to see any use. We are seeing Red Book Axe Armor from Wader Skeleton. Both runners do have Axe Armor. So this means, go mode wise, Garni is 4/5 to go mode. He just needs that last book. Is that Galamoth? Duplicate Gravekeeper. Okay. So Smile is going to see that red book, but he won't be able to get to it because he doesn't have a Rush Soul or Undine. Still good to know that it's there. He can come back when he gets that Rush Soul or Undine. But for now, it's just something to keep in mind as when you get those. Or to look for the other exit, like we saw Garni find. Looks like Smile's choosing to not do the waterfall checks right now. They're pretty slow with Bat. Garni had Hippo, which made that a non-issue. But they can be a pain to do, just in general. Garni heading out the other exit. Was this the study? Yeah. So it looks like he's gonna go through study now, probably save, and then fight the boss. We have a Rush Soul Manticore from shop? Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Good call. Did Smile grab that Rush Soul? Or was it just Garni that has that? If you know. Oh, I just saw. Okay. So both of them have that. We saw the duplicate Skula on Garni's side. And some ramen. Pretty good healing. Now Garni finds the second shop boss, Death. If he kills Death, which shouldn't be that bad with Manticore Bale and Death's Robe, then Garni will have access to the full shop, which could have, as mentioned, some very good gear. I don't think we've seen either of the shop, any of the shop from Headhunter yet, so it'll be completely new for us whenever Garni heads back there. Very clean fight from Garni here. Only getting hit a couple of times and got some very good jump cancels here. Smiles, meanwhile, is in Dance Hall. Can do every check here pretty quickly. It looks like he's going to safe split the bottom checks. We saw a Sherman ring up there. That gives you XP when you walk. It's not amazing. Especially not in the face of some of the other accessories we've seen in the seed. Random drop Flame Demon. Also not that useful. The seed, Black Belt. The best strength boosting accessory in the game. It is top 3 accessories, I'd say, along with a Rune Ring and Chaos Ring, but we're not going to see Chaos Ring this seed. They're seeing the big Golem. Awful fight. Nobody likes him, and nobody should. But it's pretty easy, all things considered. Only has, I believe, 600 health? 640, something like that. So really isn't a problem for Smile here, even with a scimitar as his weapon. We're seeing Garni come out of study straight into corridors. Pretty interesting routing that the game has decided on. We've seen most of the corridors exits now. We already know what this one comes from Smiles. This is the far left side of Reservoir. When Smiles defeats Big Golem, gets, I don't think, anything useful for his troubles. And we're probably going to see him heading out the other side of Dance Hall now. It did look like he skipped that long hallway check. Skipping checks is always a gamble in Undine behind Big Golem. Alright, thank you, Vinter. Like I said, nothing important. That's very useful. With Undine now, Smile can go back and get that red book to see, oh, it's Axe Armor. I already have that. And that will put them both knowing that they have 4 out of 5 on go mode. So like I was saying, that check that Smile skipped, the randomizer can put the required souls anywhere, and the required books mostly anywhere. So skipping a check like that, while it's not likely that that's going to be where it is always a risk. Garni gets a random Archdemon drop. That is huge, considering the souls that they have. Both runners. Archdemon, as the text said, you get MP for getting hit. It's an insane soul, if you have enough healing to maintain it. And just lets you pump out your Manticore damage. On the other side, we saw Smilefires get Osafune. Very decent weapon. Speaking of decent weapons, Levitain, that is top tier endgame ready. Smile doesn't really need another weapon for the entire seed. And a Golem Soul, also very good. That strength boost matters a lot. I think we're going to be seeing the fully upgraded shop from Garni now, so we could see some very good gear here. High potions are good, Positron Rifle's good. Not a lot of good gear, honestly. Some pretty decent healing. Yeah. Pretty lacking shop, all things considered. It's decent, but considering that you already started with Death's Robe, it's just a lot of high potions for healing on Positron Rifle if you need that for Chaos and Julius. Now Smile's going to be heading out of Dance Hall. I think this led to Reservoir, so we're probably going to see him head down to where Garni just came from. Nope. He's headed right to the waterfall to grab Red Book. Of course. What was I thinking? And now it's Garni's turn to go exploring. Good play from Smiles to not aggro the Archdemon there. Makes it a lot safer to go do these checks without fear of getting knocked off. Now Undine and Manticore to get through this waterfall, and we're going to see Red Book for Smile. On Garni's side, you can see just how much of a difference that Hippogriff makes. Just the sheer speed of that vertical acceleration is kind of insane. We're going to see Garni heading off to that side check that Smile skipped. This could be pretty big if we're looking at, like, a book over here. Or Galamoth, say. But it's not. So, Smile made the right decision in skipping this, and that gamble paid off. Very solid backdash cancels from Garni, making use of Positron's very good range against Big Golem. And the Undine Soul for his troubles. It's not very useful now that he's found both sides of Waterfall and has Flight, so not going to be too happy about that. And I think he reset out of it. Now its Death Fight should be going a bit cleaner for Smile with Levitain and Valkyrie, though the Manticore damage on Garni's side was still very solid. Just that Levitain has more damage it can be used without that mana cost, as it is a sword. Now Garni's headed into a cemetery, and will get that Levitain himself. Interesting to see these runners are more or less doing the same route, but backwards. Whereas Garni went through inner quarters from the left side, Smile's going to be coming at it from the right. A red Minotaur random drop for Garni. It's a very expensive red soul, but has, I believe, the highest damage of anything in the entire game. It can hit upwards of multiple hundreds, 300 to 400, sometimes up to 1,000 at higher levels with the lubricant boost. So, though it costs a lot of mana, if you can get up to that 150 requirement, which if you kill a boss like Belor or Legion, I think you definitely can, then using that with Archdemon could be a very good play for Garni against Chaos, especially with the abundance of healing. Smile running into another exit in corridors. This time choosing to head down, probably headed towards Gardens, that was Forbidden, or Reservoir, which was Gardens. And choosing to save here, so we could see a save split Forbidden. Oh, we just saw a small trick there. Undine skip, where you jump, double jump, and then you turn to the side on that edge of that platform there, and it clips you on top. Now the other side of Gardens for Garni is top floor. Another very important area to remember, and also a very convenient location, since you're going to be top floor when you kill Graham, and then you can just head straight to Gardens. So very easy to remember that connection. It is an endgame area, so it could be a bit dangerous to go through. And it looks like Smile chose to head into inner quarters rather than do the forbidden checks. Gets Hippogriff for his troubles, so good choice, I'd say. I'm going to assume that Smile saved in inner quarters, and can reset out of this forbidden. But I didn't catch it myself. We'll find out in a minute. Looks like he's not choosing to reset out. You can see Garni headed through this Wrecking Ball and Clock Tower. Haha. Got a vanilla Clock Tower exit here. We have an easy boss to fight. Probably hoping for Balor or Death. Or, sorry, Balor or Legion. But it looks like Garni just doesn't want to fight. Maybe? Looking a bit indecisive there. I think he forgot to pick up the top room teleporter. That's rough, but not that bad. Since Gardens is pretty accessible, so it's not that much slower. Though it is still a couple minutes lost there. Now we're going to see Positron against Legion. This is a very good decision, because it's a multi-hit. Legion's shell has 0 defense. So you're just going to be hitting a lot of damage. You're going to be piercing through the entire thing. Very good weapon. Especially with how fast Garni's backdash cancels have been this seed. We're going to see Smile finding top floor. That was a very fast Legion fight for Garni. He's going to get 12,000 experience for this, which will give him the edge he needs for the end game. And the blue book for his troubles. Is that the last book? It is. Skyfish. Garni has that, I believe, and should be in go mode now. So this is going to be a very fast seed, especially with the gear they have. So he's going to probably head right back to top floor. Killing great armor for levels? Unsure. And we're just going to see the Gram fight right soon. Which one has Red Minnow? That is Garni. Garni also is the one that has Archdemon, because Garni's luck, as premeditated by the nickname, is very good. Getting some very clean combat from Garni here, making good use of the Manticore and Levitain to take down Gram's first 2 phases very quickly. Garni puts on Archdemon to take a hit from the hands, which gives him full MP, allowing him to use Manticore probably 4 times. Some very good damage for his troubles. And swaps on Archdemon again as he untransforms, taking another hit, allowing him to go right back to Manticore. Very good play, taking down Gram Phase 3 in under 30 seconds, I'd say. Gets a Devil for his troubles. So, you know, amazing. Garni's headed right down to find Floating Gardens. He knows it connects to top floor, so he's gonna head right there and fight Julius. And once Julius goes down, it's onto the Chaotic Realm. Yeah, it's something insane like that. Luck is not very useful. Now on to Julius. Julius has 6,000 health, attacks with his whip in the first phase, which lasts for 4,000 HP, and then begins using his 3 sub-weapons in phase 2. Every 4 hits with a weapon, Julius will stagger, but thankfully soul damage does not count for this, so you can use Manticore safely at all times. We're seeing some really good abuse of Julius's hitboxes from Garni here. Mainly that Julius's body does not have a hitbox most of the time, unless he's, I believe, mid-kick, like that, or in a slide. So you can pretty safely just walk straight through him like we're seeing while he's pulling out his whip. This is a really impressive Julius fight. Good play there, putting on Arc Demon just to get hit, so that now he has the mana to use his Manticore again. And we're on to phase 2. Signaled by Grand Cross, the sheer power of this Grand Cross is pulling everything nearby closer, including Soma and also the castle in the background. Now in this phase he uses Holy Water, it's pretty easy to dodge. The Axe, which goes above, and the Cross, which is a pain. Seeing Garni use his own cross for a solid 1 damage there. This Julius fight is insane to me. I have never seen someone play Julius just as crazy as Garni is right now. My man decided to memorize Julius's hitboxes and is now pretending that they don't exist. Because to him, they don't. Now on Chaotic Realm, takes a safety save at the beginner, but with Hippo and Panther, this shouldn't really be an issue for Garni. Poison Fist at the start, pretty good weapon, but not better than Levitain and Positron Rifle. Bad part, no slime. True. Just farm slime. Hope that it's the vanilla slime drop. Death Scythe is one of the strongest weapons in the game. Death Sickle, sorry. But it's also Dark Element, which Chaos, the final boss, resists. Meaning that it's not worth it. That gonna be Galamoth? I think that's Galamoth. That or Kicker. Truly, very useful souls to have in Chaotic Realm. Smile, meanwhile, did find the blue book and is now in go mode, but just a bit too late to catch up to Garni. We're going to see him entering into Graham in just a couple seconds, around the same time Garni enters Chaos. Like, at the exact same time. Very in sync. Now in Chaos Phase 1, Soma's souls are sealed away, so Garni won't be able to use any of those Manticores or Golem boosts. But each time that Garni takes down one of the statues, he'll get back that soul. These statues have 0 defense, 3000 HP, which means that multi-hit weapons like Positron Rifle are incredibly strong against them, dealing the full damage a lot of times, you know? That's how damage works. Taking some hits early on, but shouldn't be too much trouble, not with the amount of healing he has left. Why did Smile just reset? What soul does he not have? I thought he had all of them. It's not Skyfish. Did he died out of Peeping Eye, I think? Oh my... Yeah, okay. While Garni is winning the game. Smile farmed Peeping Eye from the Ghost here, then killed Manticore and went to Eastern. But Smile died in Eastern after losing both the farmed soul and the soul that was in Eastern Reservoir. That is so unlucky. Meanwhile, we're seeing some really good use of Archdemon and Manticore from Garni to get some insane damage off on this core, hitting 80 with the Manticore damage. Versus 9 from Levitain. This seed is hand-built for Death's Robe Manticore. Just the sheer damage that Garni is able to put out here. Jupiter, did you win the Harmony race? And GG from Garni finishes it off, not with that Manticore damage, but with 9 damage from Levitain.